Hello. Okay. Hi. Welcome. So happy to be with you all. Empowerment for Girls Camp. Oh my goodness. What organization close to my heart. I am Christina Mama Luna, and I am the founder of She School. And She School is all about women and girls and making a space for ourselves in this wild world and finding our way back to our innermost home. I use the pathway of herbs, art. I am a life coach and a resilience coach and a health coach and a massage therapist, and I've been doing these things for a very long time. And I always work with women and children, with girls, and so I'm really honored to be here with you and to share a little bit of what makes me happy, and also something I really love to share with others. Last year, the particular thing that we're going to be doing in a little bit, last year I had an idea for a gift for a friend of mine who was going through a really hard time, and I made her this very heartfelt deck of cards, and my goal was just that she would remember who she was. And after they were finished, I realized that these needed to be out in the world, because we all need to remember that from time to time. And hopefully we have good people in our lives who remember or remind us, but I think the most important person that needs to remind us is ourselves. And so I created the I Am card, and it has gone all over at least the United States. I'm not sure about outside of the country, but so we're going to make those in a little bit. But first, I just want to talk to all of you a little bit about what it means to be self-sovereign and to really own our shit, right? Am I allowed to say that? We're all women here, right? But what it means to me might be different than what it means to you. And the beautiful thing is that we all get to figure that out for ourselves. We get to determine who we are and what we're about. And the world will tell us that. Our parents will tell us that. Our teachers will tell us that. Our social circles will tell us that. Outside influences will always tell us who we are or who we aren't. But they don't always get it right, do they? They don't always get it right. And so I invite you into this space today to really begin to think about what it means to claim who you are for yourself. And I know for myself that has been a journey. And when I was your age, I thought I knew some things, and I know that as life carries forward, as it always does, if we're lucky, that who we are changes so many times over the course of a lifetime. I am now in my fourth decade, halfway through my fourth decade, which means that I am 45 years old, and I have lived an adventurous life, a beautiful life, a tragic life, a life of health and a life of illness. I have lived a life of peace and a life of chaos. But at all times, I think the most remarkable thing about my story and all of our stories is that if we are true to ourselves, then we get to create our life. We get to be the creator of our life. And I think whether we are creating for good or bad, we're still the creators of that. And again, I invite you to really explore the idea of creating the life that you want. One thing that has really helped me through different parts of my journey is to ask myself how I want to feel. How do I want to feel in any given situation? Maybe I'm feeling anxious about something that I have to do, or an event that I have to attend, or some people I have to be around. Maybe I'm just feeling a little unsure of myself. And so I consider, if I'm wise, I take a deep breath, and I put my hand on my heart, and I ask myself how I want to feel in that situation. And when I can see the full picture of that, then I'm able to really move through the experience as though I have done it before, because I have visualized it, or I have considered it at least. And very often, if I take that step ahead of time, it really helps me to remember my way around the room, right? Because I've been there before. And so if I want to feel strong and confident or kind and compassionate or whatever it calls for in the space that I'm going to be in, then I call that in. And when I say I call that in, I mean I really bring that to my mind's eye, my heart's eye, my heart center, and I really think about how I want to behave, how I want to feel, how I want to show up. And that's a very intentional way of being in the world. And when you slow yourself down enough to do that and to create that for yourself, you will see things really shift for you in a big way, in a way that really helps you always feel at home within yourself. Another thing that has really helped me, in addition to asking myself how I want to feel, is if I am inspired by someone, if someone out in the world is making moves or is just showing up for others in a way that catches my heart, I think about what that person is doing. And sometimes there aren't role models, right? Sometimes we have a yearning and we look around and there's no one like us. Maybe they don't look like us, maybe they don't act like us, maybe they don't believe the things we believe. We can still be true to ourselves in those moments by thinking about how a person such as ourselves would show up, right? So it's very similar to how do you want to feel, but instead you're asking yourself, what would this person do? And so then you can begin to form habits or daily rituals or disciplines that that person, who's you, would do in order to live the life that you want to live, or to be the person that you feel that you are, and to stay true and connected to that sort of spirit flame inside of you, which is so important to honor throughout all of your life. You are never too young to begin to know that you are the center of your universe, just as everyone is the center of theirs. And what are you going to do with that? How are you going to show up in this life so that you can be all that you want yourself to be and serve all the people that you're supposed to serve? And so I would just really invite you to consider these things, not necessarily right now, but definitely in the days to come. And okay, so that's what I want to say about that. Belonging to yourself starts with some simple steps and some simple rituals that will help you just make that a little more clear to you. It helps you get answers for you that are really for and about you when you ask yourself those questions. Because sometimes you can start out and you don't really know how you want to show up or who you really feel like you are. You're always discovering that. That's a process that we're always going through. We're always evolving. And that's a beautiful thing. We don't know what we're going to know, right? And I can tell you on this side of things, you won't remember all the steps of your journey. What feels really important to you right now might not even be something you remember in a little while. So yeah. Okay. So when I think about I am, or when you think about I am, what is the first thing that comes to mind? Oftentimes, it'll probably be your name, right? I am Christina. But what else does that question arise in you? What arises in you from that question? I am a woman. I am a child. Or a daughter. I'm not a child. I am a daughter. I am a friend. I am a wife. I am a mother. I am a teacher. I am my job. I am my race. I am my there's so many options, right? But what about what's under there? What's in here? What's in the spirit? In my card making adventure, I wanted to create something that would tell somebody, things to think about for every week of the year. So I made 52 cards with I am statements, and they're all a variety of different cards or different words across the gamut of meaning and intention and sacredness. In fact, one is sacred. I am sacred. So what I'd like you to do with this project is begin a list of who you are. And it's really ideal for the project we're doing, but you can interpret it any way you want to think of one word answers. I am radiant. I am wise. I am kind. But you could also create statements. If that feels better to you, you can do that, because they're going to be your cards. You're going to use them for your daily ritual, I hope. I hope you will make it a part of something you do, maybe first thing when you wake up, or maybe before you go to bed, or maybe before you go to school, or maybe you take them to school and keep them in your locker. Wherever it feels good. Maybe you put them in the living room and everyone in the family can see those cards, and maybe they only belong to you. Whatever feels right for you, that's what you should do. But I want you to start to make a list of things that you believe you are. They could be statements that are only true for you, and they could be statements that are words that resonate with you, right? That hold meaning for you. So I'm going to open up one of my decks and just read you some of the words that I've selected, and you're free to use those as well. But I hope that you come up with others, because I know that there are so many words out there that represent all of us. So if I can get this open quickly. So while I'm opening this, why don't you get a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen or a marker and just start to think about some of those words, okay? So, okay, I've got, I am patience, I am cosmic, I am love, I am radiant, I am whole, I am free, I am truth, I am joy, I am luminary, I am clarity, I am ecstasy, I am kindness, I am awakened, I am intuitive. So you see, there are a variety of words and meanings that you can pull to make your I am cards. And so with your list, which I'm going to give us a couple of minutes, okay? How about that? I'm going to turn on some music and invite you to just make a list of these words. You don't have to complete them, but let's try to do 6, okay? Because in the project today, that's what we're going to work on, is 6 cards. You can always add to it like I did. I make 52. You could do 1 for each month. You could do 365 if you were feeling really ambitious, and do 1 for each day. You can also do however many you want and just rotate through them. And so, you know, when you make them, when these are complete, the idea is that you will pull a card and you will look at it and you will think about that word, and then you will be that word for the day. You will focus on that word. You will think of yourself in that way. Like we were talking about before, how do I want to feel? I want to feel radiant. So what would I do that would help me feel radiant? And remember my inner radiance, right? I am radiant. I am a source of light, and I receive light. So how do I show up in the world with that light shining for everyone? What do I do in order to make that the most beautiful expression of my heart and my spirit? And so I'm going to turn some music on and just give it a couple minutes, and then we will begin the art project, okay? And I will also say that while I'm starting the music, I'm going to just do some of the things I do before I start any intentional practices, and which I consider art to be a very intentional self-care practice, which is good for my heart and my spirit, and allowing my creative expression to really be honored, because it wants to be honored. And I bet yours does too. So there are a few things I do to just sort of call in the muse or make myself feel at home. And I have a beautiful art studio that I love to work in, and I'm really grateful for that space because it allows me to leave everything behind. I don't have dishes in the sink. I don't have anything. I don't have my room to clean. I don't have laundry. I don't have anything that I need to be doing except what I'm doing in here. So that's a really beautiful thing, and I hope someday you can do that too. Okay. 2 or 3 minutes. Oh, I wanted to show you my cards. I'm sorry. Just a couple of them so you get the idea. We're going to make squares today, but these are circles. You can make whatever shape you want. But they're just little cards. And then I have a stand that I made so that you can set the card in the stand. And then have a little altar space. There's a candle in there. It's taped down because this is obviously for someone to purchase, but a candle. And then, you know, I set that intention every single day. I look at that, I set my intention, and I love this practice. I do this practice myself. My husband is doing it now. Everyone who has bought these as a gift has told me that the receiver has just been so touched, and people who have bought it for themselves buy more for others. If you would ever be interested, empowerment for girls camp will give you all my contact information for getting your own. Working on that list. I love these candles. These are prayer candles for some people. For me, they're representative of honoring women. I light these when one of my friends is having a baby until she has it, because it'll burn for hours. Of course, I'm always safe. And if I leave the house, I blow it out. If I'm going to be home all night and she's laboring, I will light this. Also, when someone passes on, I will light one of these for the family. I'll send a picture to them and let them know I'm thinking about them. This is my own version of prayer. Another thing I might do sometimes is clear the energy of the room. I have a Native American bloodline on both sides of my grandmothers, both grandmothers on both sides, and so I like to use that, but you may use other ways of clearing energy. This is a white sage smudge stick. It is gathered, harvested ethically by a friend of mine out west, and I live in Michigan, by the way. Any of you been to Michigan? We are the Great Lakes state, and we have Great Lakes. So I would light this, and I would clear the room. I might walk around the room, or I might just breathe it in myself. There's a wing I found in the woods. A whole wing. It's pretty magical. So I'm going to breathe that in and just really focus my attention on being true to myself and creative, honoring my spirit, and honoring the source, right? Whatever that is for you. The source of light, the source of love, the source of creation, the source of creativity. Whatever that is for you. And then I have this abalone shell, which I use to rest this in so that it can burn, continue to burn without me having to really focus on if it's catching anything on fire. Okay, so I hope you worked on that list. And I'm going to pause this music. And you might be able to hear my dog snoring. Her name is Moon. She's in here with me, and I can hear her snoring. So if you can, that's what that is. Another thing that I really like to do is I have this daily oracle book. It's a really fat book because there's 365 oracles in here, one for each day of the year. And an oracle is really, you could think of it like a fortune cookie, but with some badassery. An oracle is kind of another way of just allowing spirit to work through you and maybe help you find answers to something, or maybe it just helps you feel grounded, or maybe it helps you just a way forward. Okay, so it says how to use a daily oracle. Respect and cherish the oracle and your higher self by asking one thoughtful question each day. Breathe deeply for 3 counts, holding the closed book next to your heart. Quiet your mind and focus on your question. See the question in your mind's eye or say it out loud. Run a finger along all the page edges, and when you feel called, stop and open the book in that place. This is your higher self's answer to your question. Trust what you've read and consider how it relates to your question and your energy right now. Okay? So I'm going to just take you through that. And then I just really flip until something tells me to stop, but I'm not looking at all. There we go. There we go. Can you read that, or does it show up backwards for you? It says absolutely. That is a heck yes. Heck yes. Should I tell you my question? I'm having so much fun doing this. I was asking myself, should I do more videos? So I'm going to take that as a yes. Okay. And then because we're honoring our spirits and our I am, I wanted to read 2 things to you that I found that I just thought were short and sweet and reminders of who we are. So let's see the first one. Both of these are actually from a woman whose work I love. Her name is Tanya Markul, and she's a prolific writer of the spirit. She has written the She book. Perfect, right? When she learns to hold her own hand, she befriends the entire world. I love that one. And then another one I thought was perfect was, the moment you become aware that the only thing holding you back is a disbelief in your power, or a lack of self-worth, or the voice of you are not good enough, you kick your inner demon's ass, and everything is changed forever and ever and never again. Will you be who you were? Right? Well, that, I like those. I hope you do too. Okay, so a couple tools for the trade. You should have a list or have them all in front of you. I've got water for my watercolor. I've got watercolor paints. I don't know what size yours are. This is the size I have. It's a good size, but it's an old one, so I don't even have all the colors left. I've got a bunch of paintbrushes, different sizes. I have a metallic marker and a black Sharpie. That's because I like to write the way that I've done it is I write I am in black, real strong and bold, all caps, and then in beautiful cursive writing, I write my word, my whatever I am word. Okay, and then I've got paper. You might use watercolor paper or any paper you've got. And then you can get as fancy as you want. I've also got paper towel. And sometimes I blot water with it, and sometimes I found this really cool paper towel that had these beautiful sort of mandala patterns. The pink is from me dabbing, but I can't really see, but it's patterned, it's sort of imprinted. And I found one day accidentally when dabbing when I had too much water that it made this beautiful pattern, and for a while all my cards had these patterns. So okay, so I'm going to use a big fat brush because I want to cover in broad strokes the paper and just want to do whatever. I just want to paint. I'm not really going for a certain look or anything other than how I want to feel, right? I want to feel like a painter today. I am a painter. I want to feel like one. So I'm going to, I like to mix and match a little bit. I've got some blue and some green, but you pick whatever colors you like. Maybe a little violet, maybe a little plum. Maybe a little okay, so you can do that. You can also pre-wet the paper. You could draw on the paper and then fill in with colors that you like, the drawing or whatever. Sky's the limit. You could use acrylic paints, you could use markers, you could use stickers, anything to embellish that feels good. I do have some really fun stickers. There's some potted plants. I like the one that says, I will survive. I've got some rainbow hearts. I've got some just other kind of fun journal stickers. So whatever I want. And then I'm blotting because of time, because I won't be with you as long as you will be doing this project for the sake of time. I'm going to blot this and then I'm going to cut it. And because I want 6, I'm going to cut it in half lengthwise. And you can do this with a marker and have it be exact so all your cards are the same size. I feel pretty confident in my ability to measure, but it won't be perfect. I can already tell, right? That's not a straight line, but I'm okay with that. And then 1, 2, 3 on this side. 1, 2, 3 on this side. Okay, so now I've got my 6 cards, and they're still a little damp. So ordinarily, I would wait for everything to be dry. And in fact, I'm still going to, because it will make my markers not work. But then I might add my stickers, right? I've got some spots here that don't have any moisture, and so maybe I'm gonna add a sticker. And then after I've done that, oops, I've got some of Moonshine's hair stuck in my sticker. That's a problem. The only problem with having a dog is all the dog hair. Otherwise, they are angels. So then I would take my sticker, okay, or my marker, and I'm going to write I am, okay, and I like to be, that's my writing, that's my soul's writing. You do you. And then with my metallic one, today I'm feeling, what is my I am today? Lucky. Okay, there you go. So, there you have it. I really hope that you enjoy this project as much as I have, and I look forward to hearing how it all went for you. Please feel free to let the camp director know and share with me pictures of yours. I would really love to see what you've made. And thank you for letting me be a part of your Saturday, and remember who you are. Thank you.